Soundfall is a rhythm-based looter-shooter dungeon crawler. Honestly, the thing that stands out most to me about this game is the art style, particularly in the cutscenes and the animation. I think it's like really, really good. I'm not a huge fan of the music that they use, and I know they're not the first ones to implement a rhythm-based element into dungeon crawlers, so you know it's not completely unique, but it's a genre that is fairly niche and doesn't have a lot of entries into it, and I think this is a fairly good game, you know, to represent the potential of the genre. Now, some of the enemies do feel a little bit like Unity asset flips, but I think they are fully original. It's just the way they work feels a little bit like that, but you know that's okay, because you know it's clear that they've put enough effort into it to make it feel like they're not just trying to sell you assets from the asset store. And especially with the cutscenes, you can tell they put a lot of time, at least, into the main character's character design. Now, I would have liked them to have voice work, but again, smaller publishers, gonna have less budget, so that's fine. But, you know, it's... The one thing I do wish they had was maybe a little bit clearer indication on how to use weapons and stuff like that. Like, I was skipping past what people were saying, so I don't know if they kind of said, hey, you can use these particular types of weapons in this way. I know they show it in like in loading screens, they show some tips, and that's kind of how I figured out. Or I was like, well, why isn't this gun working as well as it should? And there's a decent level of variety, and keeping in time with the music is I've seen a few reviews that say it's not exact, but the levels I've played, I couldn't see any discrepancies between the music and what the metronome at the bottom was showing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't see any discrepancies. It is a little bit too strict and probably should be a little bit more forgiving, because sometimes I get it to where I'm slightly off, but it's just very slight, and then once you get that slight, it kind of escalates from there, and you run the risk of stunning your character for short periods of time unless you dodge to the beat. And some of the level movements is also tied to dodging and stuff to the rhythm, and you know, and that can be difficult for some people. I'm not the best at keeping rhythm, and I know that's kind of sad because I was in band and stuff like that, but I had difficulty getting into that initially in the first place. This isn't too bad, and I do wish that was a little bit easier, and honestly I think it's worth a look. It might be a little bit expensive for you. It's about 25 USD, so I would definitely consider checking it out on a decent sale. I think it's a game that not many people really know about, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of share it with you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.